because I was moving around too much.
What is up, everybody?
What's up, everyone?
Welcome out to the show. We were working on some technical stuff, trying to get our special guest for the evening on.
Santa
And
Claus, everybody.
I think it's going to work. We'll see what happens. We're going to see if he pops in or not. I hope you all had a great week. Before we start our show tonight, because we got a couple different topics we're going to cover tonight, we wanted to make sure that we let you all know that everyone is welcome here, no matter what. Black, white, candy stripe, whatever your sexual preference, whatever, dude.
I mean, even the Irish?
Even the Irish. So as long as you're respectful, everyone is welcome here. So let's all just try to have a good time and enjoy ourselves. And let's see what happens, man. I have one set of I have a tattoo share from one of our listeners. And then I have some really cool pics to share with you guys tonight from one of our listeners that actually went out to Tattoo City and got a tattoo from Doug Hardy. So he made the pilgrimage out to Tattoo City. And we're going to share those with you tonight. And then we're going to dive into the Pete Davidson tattoo removal. More about the tattoo removal than Pete Davidson. He's just the catalyst that started the discussion. So it should be pretty cool, man. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Hopefully our special guest makes it on. He was struggling with some technical difficulties, and we'll hopefully see him show up, and we'll go from there. And if not, I don't know. I'll figure it out, man. Maybe we'll bring him on. Instead of sharing his picture, we'll just bring on his audio, and we'll do it that way.
Yeah, that's definitely something we could do.
I'll put him on speakerphone, and we could just do it that way. It's whatever works, man. Right? You just got to go and roll with the punches. So before we get rolling, give us a quick thumbs up. Do we sound okay? Look okay? Other than us being ugly, is the picture good? Sound good? Let us know. What's up, Cracker? And let's do this, man.
Okay.
So
I'm trying to find us on the phone. Oh, look, there we are.
Yeah, so Justin has requested a laptop for himself so he could watch the show, so he could actually see the pictures that I'm putting up, because when I put them up, they're all the way across the screen over here, and he can't see them. So we're gonna figure something out for him next week. Unfortunately, we can't have any more monitors on here because then it'll block the view, and everybody will look like what was the dude on the show with the fence where you looked over the fence? Home Improvement.
Home Improvement.
Yeah. So we got a bunch of people already in, man, and it's gonna be a good show. I'm assuming right now our guest did not make it in because I see him talking in chat. So what we'll do is, Dave, we'll have you call the Instagram, and I'll just play your audio over the mic, and we can talk about whatever we want to talk about with you. If you want to just give me 1 minute before you do that. And yeah, let's see what happens. It's a train wreck as usual, man.
It's a first.
It never goes.
It's a first.
It never goes smooth.
It's a first, man. Look, we're tattoo enthusiasts. What do you expect?
Look at that, man. Howdy Heathen in the house.
Howdy Heathen in the house.
What's up, man? Let's give a quick shout out to our listeners. We got Luz in the house, Nikki, our moderator, Sarah, OG Sarah in the house. Got Tom, Chris Hawkins, Bill O'Connell, Gallery, Fat Cracker, Howdy Heathen, and that's it for right now. So, yeah, we're gonna have him go ahead and give us a quick ring. I'll try to do this and see.
We're trying to cob it together.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. All right, man. Make sure I can get you on speaker. All right, dude, you there?
Hey, can you hear me, Doug?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Okay, it's hard to hear you for some reason, but I'll just keep it like this.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to put it up so our listeners can hear. This is
Make
Dave.
sure if they can't hear me, then maybe we'll just do it the next week.
No,
If they can hear me, that's great.
yeah, man, we should be good to go. Just gonna wait for the delay to kick in and make sure our moderator says it's
You wanna
good.
just ask them if they can hear me?
Yeah,
Do
man.
a test.
Yep, I think we're good. So hold on one second, and I
Testing.
believe we are good.
Good?
Yep. So
All right.
cool. So you all know him as Fat Cracker, but his real name is Dave, and
Dave's not here, man.
Dave's not here, man. So
Wait a minute. Who said my real name's Dave? How do you know my parents aren't hippies?
yeah, well,
They named me Fat Cracker.
no, well, you never know, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
But yeah, so we are bringing Dave on tonight because he's working on a special project. We're actually doing a little bit of collaboration with him, and I think it would be cool for everybody to, get eyeballs on this project. And it's the what are you calling the project, Dave?
Okay, so the project's called 202-500 Never Forget. You can see it on www.202500.life. On IG, obviously, 202-500 Never Forget. And obviously, yes, you are a part of it, and you're going to be part of, video, doing the videography for the tattooing and also the tattoo photo sessions in front of the Holocaust Museum in New York. Because we're doing it in LA, New York, and then we want to go, obviously, to Israel and then other locations as well.
Right, but explain the project to everybody.
Sure, of course. So in order to explain the project, there's a little bit of a segue into it, or just kind of context to how I got to the idea and where it came from. So I wrote a film. Right now, we're going to just call the film White Boy, okay? And that's going to be the working title, even though there's a different name to it. I just don't want to let that cat out of the bag, but we're going to call it White Boy. Okay, so White Boy is about a 400-pound featherwood. I don't know if anybody's familiar with what a featherwood is.
Yeah.
But it's like so a featherwood is a female peckerwood, but when you're a female featherwood, you're like a skinhead. You're definitely going to be
Cracker, you might want to explain. You might want to explain what a peckerwood is.
Featherwood is. So it's about a 400-pound tattooed head, neck to toe featherwood, and she's got all the hate tattoos on her. 14, 88, 111. She's got all these hardcore tattoos. She even has tattoos of the Auschwitz ovens on her and Hitler, and all these kind of things, right? So the idea came from, at one point I wanted to do a short film, and this ended up being a long film, and I'll get to 202-500 real quick, but it ended up being, something that I wanted to write where it's a Holocaust denier, so this featherwood, her name is White Boy, right? And White Boy reads at the age of 14 and also the age of 28. She reads Holocaust diaries of this woman that had her kids killed in front of her, shot, and then put into a ditch, like while she was holding her babies, right? And she reads it at 14, and she just makes total fun of it, because she's been brainwashed.
Right.
She's got all that programming and that hate. And then at 28, she reads it, but she's life humbled, and it's changed because she's been through a lot of stuff. And I won't get into all the detail of it, but if anybody wants to, I'm more than happy to talk more about it. But so one of the things that I did in that film was, for her, at one point in her life when she's older, she has her daughter, or she has two kids. One's peanut butter, one's jelly. And she takes peanut butter with her. She was about 10 years old at the time, and she takes her with her to the Holocaust Museum. Now you got to remember, she's flagged head to,
Right.
neck to toe with all the stuff that put all these people in the grave. And so she's in front of the building with her daughter waiting to get in. and there's an older man with them waiting to get in as well. And he has a tattoo from Auschwitz. Now, Auschwitz is the only camps. There were multiple Auschwitz camps, but Auschwitz was the only camps that actually branded people with the tattoo number. Okay, so he's got this old bluish tattoo on him, and she asks him, as they're talking. Now she's got her, so she's got a turtleneck on, so he can't see all the flags that put that tattoo on him that are underneath her turtleneck, under her clothes.
Right.
She's got long pants on too. So he doesn't know who he's talking to.
Okay.
And he's having a conversation with the woman and a really nice kid, and like that. And he has no idea, right? So she asked him, so you have that tattoo on you so that you don't forget. And he says, no, young lady. He said, even if I get Alzheimer's, I'll never forget what happened to me.
Right.
Ever. I keep this tattoo on me so that you never forget. Okay, so that blue, and he said, I keep this blue tattoo on me so that you never forget.
Right.
So that leads us then to 202-500. So the blue reference is that most of the tattoos were done originally in blue and black in Auschwitz. And some of them, even the black ones, somehow faded into a gray, greenish, and even bluish color. And the bluish ones stayed blue, but they faded out.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that we're doing, and when you go on the website, you'll see the 202-500.life, you'll see it says blueprint photography. So one of the things that we're doing is we're tattooing this number of 202-500 in blue, okay, with on volunteers.
Right.
And most of them are younger volunteers. And we're introducing a whole new generation to never forgetting. Now, that blue tattoo that's on their forearms is the real blueprint of the buildings behind them. It's the reason that those buildings exist. So now the number itself that you're looking at, 202-500, is very significant, because the last tattoo that was tattooed in Auschwitz for the lucky people, right? We're going to quote unquote my fingers, the lucky people that were deemed to be slaves and not cremated. They were the lucky ones, and they got tattooed as serial numbers. So the last number was 202-499. So what we're doing is we're doing 202-500, the next generation. We're the next in line. So if you sleep on humans, you're going to be 202-500. You're the next in line. And so therefore we're introducing a new generation of people to never forget what humans have done to other humans. So this is not nothing to do with Jewish or Judaism. Yes, the Holocaust, a lot of the a lot of the people in the camps were Jewish, but there were others. There were blacks, there were gays, there were many people, many different people. And also you got to remember all the soldiers from all the different countries in the U.S. and all the other allied countries, they also died, and it's never forgetting them as well. So one of the other things that it's important that when you see it, it'll say, as far as on the website, you'll see that it says, that we're talking about the Armenian genocide, Cambodian genocide, Rwandan, and all the other genocides. This is what 202-500 represents. That if you sleep on humans, okay, this is what's going to happen. And when I say sleep on it, that's a street term. No, it's not from the woke movement or anything like that. It's a street term. Like, don't sleep on that person. But there's good. Don't sleep on that person, and there's bad. Don't sleep on that person because,
right.
People they underestimate that person. But look, they're actually got a lot of talent. They're going to actually come and prove you wrong, and they're going to shine, right? But then there's the other thing of don't sleep on that person, because that's the person that's going to come back when you're sleeping on them and slit your throat.
So now at this point, then you're talking about taking this whole movement that you're trying to put together as a film, and you're going to have some pretty heavy hitter tattoo artists that are going to tattoo people, and then we're going to film it, and then we're also going to do stills and photography. And then what's your end game for it?
Okay, so the original, like the lead into how I got to the to actually doing the tattoos on people and then doing still photography on them in front of the museums. That's they're two different things. One is a film, and that's something I'm doing, and then there's this project which is tattooing the volunteers with the blue ink 202-500, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got some real heavy hitters in LA and in New York. You know they are. I'm only gonna release that once we get the exhibit up online. That's when I'll release the names.
Right.
But they are. You're going to be there doing the videography, and there's some really big tattooers involved that are just lending their talent and their time. They're not charging. That this is like for them, it's like from their heart. It's their DNA. It's their 48th chromosome. It's that thing that's beyond physical. There's 46, there's 47, but then there's that 48th. That's what I call it, the 48th. So yes, so you will be part of the project of in New York of videographing, and there'll be other photographers that are going to be taking photos of these tattooers tattooing 202-500 never forget on the forearms, just in the way the forearms were tattooed, the inner and outer forearms of the survivors.
Okay.
We're in Israel. There's a few that we already have on board to do it in Israel, but we're looking to get, hopefully, if his health is good, to get somebody actually out here in LA as well. It's one of the survivors to be part of the photography project while we're doing it. So this generation is now, this is the new generation. It remembers the past, the present, and also the future of never forgetting.
Cool, man. And for people out there that want to be, to kind of get updates on this and whatnot, your Instagram is never forget 202-500.
No, that's the email. So it's 202-500. Never forget at IG. You
Okay.
can also reach me, and you can see updates at www.202-500.life.
Okay. There you go, man.
And so that absolutely. And anybody that wants, if they want to contact me, you can give my other contact info. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Also, if there's anybody in the New York area, we're looking for one more. We have two already there that are getting tattooed. We're looking for one more volunteer to get tattooed. In the New York area, we're covered here in LA, and obviously in Israel, we're definitely covered as well.
Awesome, man. I definitely appreciate you jumping on and talking about this. Too bad we couldn't figure out the camera part and all the other stuff, but hey, man, maybe we will get you on another time.
Yeah, sounds good. I got one more thing though, which is not related to that. If you don't mind me, it'll be like 2 minutes. Is that cool?
Shoot, go ahead, man.
Okay. So any of the tattooers out there, this is not related to the 202-500, but it's something completely different. And so as we talked about, and you guys know, and all the tattooers know, there's a lot of downtime now. Some tattooers, good for them, they're rocking, they're busy, but for a lot, there's downtime. So I've one of the I've sort of come up with a new revenue stream to help. It's a new revenue stream because it's the way I modeled it. There's other people doing it, but the way my business model is very different. And so I have a thing, and you can take a look at it. It's gonna pop off in January of 2005. It's called shoetattoo.shop, and we're tattooing sneakers.
Right on, man.
And any tattoo artists that want to submit, that want to, try it out on their sneakers, on any sneakers at home, and want to submit, photos to me, contact me through shoetattoo.shop, and we'll talk. And, I can actually send sneakers to you, and you can tattoo on your downtime.
Right on, man. Thank you so much.
No worries.
All right, man.
Thanks for having me on, Buck, and Justin. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate you letting me talk about this project.
Nah, no problem, man. Thank you for hanging out with us and letting people know about it.
Okay, cool, man. So I'll join you right now.
Cool. Thank you, man.
Okay, guys. Thanks. Bye.
So there you go, folks. I mean, it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to, but at least you got to hear about the project. It seems like it's going to be a pretty cool project. And, Drag said, the dark side of tattoo, I stay better on the positive side. Tattoo review, positive vibration. So, yeah, man. Look, it's just one of those things that we have the listeners here that are doing different projects and stuff, and we want them to be able to come on here and promote what they're doing and move forward. But the funny thing is that Fat Cracker has the laser away tattoo on his face, and it's a perfect segue to one of our subjects for tonight. And then we're going to get into pictures, man, because I got one picture, set of pictures about the Chris's adventure out to Tattoo City. And I have also my own tattoos that I figured I promised you guys I would bring up pictures of my ink, and we'll do that tonight too. So go ahead, man, since you did all your homework for me and you actually, put some research into this.
So I don't exactly remember when. I'm going to say in the early 2000s, word started going around that maybe late 1990s that there was tattoo removal. And there was laser tattoo removal. And originally, it was really expensive. The guys that really knew how to do it were plastic surgeons. It wasn't necessarily that effective. And then over the years, it got to the point. I remember being in New York one day on a subway car, and there were 3 advertisements on the subway car for 3 different tattoo removal doctors, like Dr. Tats and a couple other ones. And I thought, man, this is really, really changed. So I decided to look into it. Part of it was my frustration with Pete Davidson, that he got all that work and then was like, I don't want any of it anymore. So got his sleeves removed.
And I think that he got them removed because of work, man. I mean, like if it was gonna impact him getting parts or whatever, he's a different breed of animal than we are, man. I mean, we're not in the public eye like that to where our jobs dictate our looks and how we look and all that stuff. Because if that were the case, then we wouldn't. That's why we're not movie stars.
No. I mean, and I understand his reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with it.
I absolutely understand his reasons.
I think you need to suck it up, dude. You took that commitment, man. You need to stick to it.
You put all that shitty work on you.
Yeah. He did have some garbage looking tattoos, but go ahead.
So what I found was that, I remember early on the tattoo removal was called dermabrasion, and it was basically an acidic compound that you put on your skin that burned your tattoos off.
Right.
And it really didn't work that well, and it was really just something that most people didn't consider, And so, early on getting tattooed, part of the reason was that it was permanent. Like I was a punk rock kid, I had green hair, mohawk, and I was like, I really want to be on the outside of society for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I made a conscious decision to not sort of join in with what I felt like was the crowd. And I thought, I'll get tattooed.
Yep.
I'll get like a permanent mark on me that shows that, I reject sort of the mainstream.
I belong to a tribe.
Right? And little did I know what the future held.
Well, so, and let's get into that real quick, man, because you and I talked about that when we were kicking this around as a story. So, do you think that tattooing has become so mainstream that now it's at a point where it's a better vibe if you're not tattooed? Or also, what was the other point that I made about, like, that unique thing that you stood out is no longer there anymore? So now you have to go like higher levels of craziness.
Right. So I remember the Roseland convention, in the late 90s and early 2000s, and I got to tell you that every kind of person, every walk of life, every weird subculture was there. And maybe not everybody got along, necessarily, but there was like this mutual respect that we were all there for our tattooing, like, and it really was this huge, like, it was a huge melting pot of all these different kinds of people that were into all this really different shit. And I mean, I loved it. Do you know what I mean? I really was into it. I was into the tattooed culture and how it sort of embraced. I mean, I remember the tattooed drag queens
Yeah.
standing there on the floor next to the tattoo 1%er motorcycle guys,
Right.
and it just being like, it's a tattoo convention. That's what it's like.
Right.
You know, the anarchist kids standing next to the right wing kids. I mean, just it was a place where people mingled, and we looked at each other's work, man. And there was this sense of we're all tattooed, like at this place, whether we agree out on the street or not. We're all tattooed, and it was like a community.
Right.
And because there was more commitment then. I mean, because you weren't like if you got some heavy work on you, right, that represented whatever kind of political or social view you held, you were getting that stuff with the understanding that it was going to be there.
Yeah, well, I mean, and then also you got to think about though is when you first started getting tattooed, when I first started getting tattooed, for us to do laser removal was not even an option.
Was not even, yeah.
I mean,
absolutely not.
you know, it may have been getting, you know, people may have been doing it at the time, but there's no way we could have afforded it.
One of the first really good examples I saw of laser removal was a young woman was in here, and she had gotten laser removal done at a Princeton plastic surgeon.
Mhm.
And for those of you guys that aren't local to the area, Princeton University, very moneyed, very
Ivy League school.
So I think she, at the time, I'm going to say it's the early 2000s, she paid $4,000. So like we'll say the equivalent of what, 8 now?
Yeah, easy. 10.
8 or 10 to get a name removed
Mm.
on her hip. And I mean, and it was beautiful. It was completely unblemished. Looked like skin that had not been tattooed, but I mean,
yeah, I mean, and then now you can go to your, you know, multiple doctors that can do it. You know, we got a local guy here that does like testosterone treatment and Botox and whatever, and he has a whole separate room for tattoo removal. And it's like, you know, man, it's obviously it's affordable now. And now there's also better options for blasting over a tattoo to cover it up.
So sort of what I saw was that the first tattoo laser removal was done in 1967. And then around 1980, new lasers were developed called Q-switch lasers. And they were the first lasers that could effectively break down the ink.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until 1989 in Glasgow, Scotland, that the first actual tattoo removal clinic was opened.
Okay.
It wasn't even in the States. It was over in Europe.
Glasgow.
Did I say Glasgow?
You said Glasgow.
Glasgow?
I don't want anybody from Scotland reaming you, dude.
The Scots.
It's my favorite city in the world, dude.
Did you know that I'm a lord in Scotland?
Are you?
Yeah, I own a meter of land there.
Yeah, somebody bought you that for Christmas?
Yeah, my daughter. Yeah. I'm royalty.
Nice.
Royalty, everyone.
Glasgow is my favorite city in the world, man. That I've been to so far, anyway.
So
stop flitzing with your mic, goddammit.
All right, I'm sorry. So in 2012, the first picosecond laser was developed, and this is where what a picosecond is. It's 1/1,000,000th of a second, which means that these lasers in their light burst at 1/1,000,000th of a second.
Okay.
Which means that, you know, the damage to the dermis,
a lot less.
Yeah.
Right.
Incredibly a lot less.
So you've went from minimal damage to the dermis, or you know, back in the day with the microabrasion acid, basically.
Acid, yeah.
To now almost no impact.
Right.
So at this point, they've made it super easy for anybody to get tattoo removal.
Yes.
And it's also fairly inexpensive compared to what it used to be. I mean, you know, we ran into those people at the one tattoo convention where they were going to
Removery.
give you the removery,
Yeah.
and they were you would get your first session for free,
Yes.
and then you would have to pay whatever X amount per session after the fact if you wanted like a total removal. I mean,
So I'm going to tell a tattoo removal story, and do not, under any circumstances, try this at home, because this was an incredibly stupid thing I did. My buddy Vinny had both sides of his neck done. This is about 2005, 2007, something like that. And he went down to Monarch Med Spa in Philadelphia, and they said it was going to be something like $5,000 altogether, or $7,000. So Vinny decided he was going to send to China for a laser. So he sent to China for a laser, and he comes into my shop one day and he's like, "Look, I've been doing laser removal on myself. I seem to be getting the hang of it. Do you have anything you want taken off?" And like I said, do not try this at home. So because he was my buddy, and I was like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I let Vinny practice completely untrained, completely uncertified. Maybe he watched a YouTube video. I let my boy practice laser removal on me.
to me, man, like I don't understand it, because I actually put a lot of thought and effort into my tattoos. Like, I'm very selective about what I have gotten done at the past. I very rarely will just on a whim get a tattoo. You know, I'm not a big fan of it, but man, I'm not a fan of certain kinds of tattoos. I'm a fan of this. That's what it. There's everything's out there for everybody, man. And I'm not paying their bills or banging them, so I have no say in what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to get your tattoos removed, then so be it. I don't agree with it, but hey, as far as Pete Davidson goes, I think really came down to financial for him. Man, if somebody said to me, "Dude, we're going to give you a $20 million role, but you got to get your tattoos removed," I might just say yes.
So I always thought of this as the Britney Spears deal, right? So they come to you in there and they say, "Look at Buck, we're going to take you from complete obscurity to the pinnacle of the industry,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're going to kiss Madonna on stage. You're going to be it,
Okay.
right? Remember the whole thing with
Yeah,
Madonna
yeah,
and
yeah.
Christine? Yeah. But at the end of it, you got to shave your head and chase Kevin Federline down the street and be a joke.
Wackadoo.
Yeah, just be mocked. But on the other side of that, you're a millionaire.
And that's what I'm saying, man.
Would you take the deal?
Well, yeah, dude. I shaved my head for free, so okay.
Like if they
And I get to kiss Madonna.
If they came to me and were like, "Listen, you got,"
I mean, not now, dude. She looks like a
you got to
old
be a jerk.
leather mitt, dude.
If they were like, "You got to be a jerk on TV and do bad tattoos,"
Yeah,
I'd be like, "Sign me up."
there's
man.
people doing it for free now. Why not?
So, but this begs the question too, right? And like, no disrespect to anybody, we're just having like an open sort of dialogue. Like, if you take the pain out of it now,
Mhm.
right, with the numbing cream and the even more extreme going under to get the bodysuit work done, and you take the permanence out of it, at what point is it no longer tattooing?
Yeah, I mean, uh, uh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I mean, I guess this is one of those questions. It keeps coming up. People talk about it a lot. I'm not the right guy to answer that because I'm no expert by any means, but I think that from what I've seen,
how important is permanence to tattooing?
well, I mean, I think that you could talk about this and apply it to a bunch of different things, man, where it's a lot's changed, dude. I think that we're a society right now that wants to have instant gratification, not willing to work for it or pay the, blood, sweat, and tears to get things. Um, man, it's
Yeah, we want to
just
go on The Voice instead of gigging.
yeah, man. I mean, it's I bitch about it all the time, dude. You're trying to push my buttons now.
No,
So
I mean that's a good example, man. That's a good
it is a
example.
very good example, but you know, um, look, people don't want to hear it. They like the show and they want to see these people show up and do their thing and blah blah blah. Whatever, man. That's cool. I'm not gonna watch it, but uh I also have it from a different perspective than a majority of the people out there that are, even thinking about watching that show because I lived it. You know what I mean? I've done sound for gigs where there was like, you could swing a dead cat and not hit a person, dude. And at the end of the night, you were worried about getting paid.
Yeah.
And, we had managers or whatever that were packing and whatever to make sure you got paid.
Made sure you got paid.
But, it was all about those chops and getting it done and out there grinding every night, man, because that's where you build up those things. I think that, like even last week we talked, I don't remember if it was last week on the show or if we were talking about it as me and you, but I was like, dude, there's a reason why the Beatles went to Germany and did those gigs and jammed, how many nights a week in Germany.
In the Cavern Club.
Right. And then they went back to England. They had their shit together. Boom. They were signed. Boom. Famous. Boom. There you go. It's just like Stevie Ray Vaughan, dude. He used to play at Antone's down in Houston, Texas, dude. He used to do gigs there. He would do 8-hour gigs, man. So he would like play 2 hours, take a break, play 2 hours, take a break. Dude, he would play so much in one night that he would actually super glue his fingertips back on his fingers
I heard
to
that.
go back. It was in Austin, Texas, sorry. But to go back out on stage to play because he wanted it that bad. It's not instant gratification. So there you go. So Fat Cracker said to my cheap ego, permanence is important. And to other people's cheap ego, it's not important. Whatever your cheap ego needs to be. There you go, man.
I absolutely agree with that. Because I think that my opinions about tattooing
are different than mine because
stop with me.
Right, but you're also a tattoo artist who is heavily tattooed, has seen the ebbs and flows of this craft, the good and the bad sides of it, where let me put it to you this way. I think you and I have talked about this before where I actually started this channel with the thought that everybody loves tattoos. Everybody wants to hear about tattoos. Everybody wants to learn about tattoo history. That's not the case. That's why my channel has not blown up, because there are thousands upon thousands of people out there that go and get tattoos that don't even know who their tattoo artist names were.
Yeah.
Think about that.
People come into the shop all the time with really good, competent work.
And they're just like, I got it from some guy down in Seaside Heights.
Right.
And you're like,
just out of curiosity, why did you not stay with so-and-so?
I mean, look, dude,
doing good work on
Here's a perfect example. Sarah, last week, sent all her pictures and gave boom, boom, boom right down the line and was like, so-and-so at this place did this. So-and-so at this place did that. Because she actually gives a crap about what she, her tattoos and what she's doing. But the average person that gets one or two tattoos, they don't give a shit about tattoo history and the people that came before them. There's people right now that work in tattooing that don't care about the guys that laid the bricks of the foundation to put them in the place that they're in right now.
So I was zipping through YouTube one time and I came across an Inked magazine video, and they asked like a half a dozen tattooers questions like, when did the band end?
Right.
Where did Don Hardy go? Where just really basic stuff about George Burchett, stuff about Mike Malone, and they didn't know.
I mean, right now, dude,
I mean, a couple of them knew, but the majority of them had no idea.
I'm doing the finishing edits to my Dana Brunson interview, and it'll probably be out Tuesday, so keep an eye out for it.
Dropping Tuesday.
And to me, man, like I was like freaking ecstatic that I got to interview that guy. He is a living legend, historian, collector of history. To me,
That desk is insane.
I probably can't.
That tattoo desk.
I see it very hard for me to top that interview, people wise. Now, granted, there may be a time when me interviewing, other artists is better because I get better at interviewing or whatever, right? But as far as, he holds a huge place in this thing that we call tattooing. How many people are out there are going to skip right over that interview because they don't know who Dana Brunson is? You know what I mean? To me,
Absolutely.
that's sad. The dude has probably one of the greatest collections of tattooing history and a personal collection that you'll probably ever see. I mean, he's right up there with, Hanky Panky and Lyle Tuttle.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It doesn't matter to me. I get pissed when I don't get a lot of views because I want people to know about these people. It's not necessarily, oh man, you know what I mean? And then there's times where I look at things and go, did I fail? Did I not present it right? Did I not put a good package on it? Did I not edit it right to suck people in? I mean, those are things, but it's.
So do you remember talking to Swagger once? So Mike Swagger at Electric Tattoo. We were down there talking to him one time, and he said, kids don't want to be tattooed by the old guy.
Right.
Right. So Swagger is responsible for an entire generation of tattooing at the Jersey Shore. Right. Between Point Pleasant, Bradley Beach, and the shop in Asbury. I mean, he's probably tattooed thousands of people, but those people now are dads and uncles and older brothers. So he's getting to the point where he's the old guy in the back of the shop. And, not a lot of people, because it's a young industry. You know what I mean? I feel.
Everybody wants the hot, new, flashy stuff.
But what I mean is, other than like real hardcore tattoo enthusiasts, the people that are going to get one or two tattoos are probably going to get them in their 20s.
Yeah.
Maybe their 30s. I think that, that at least is my experience so far.
So Tom just backed up what I was saying, where he said, yeah, man, the amount of people I have served in the shop I work in, I'll see their tats and ask them about them. And it's always some guy in X. Like they don't even remember the person's name. That's pretty telling, man, as far as,
Do you think any of that's on the tattooer?
It could be. I mean, I have a pretty big piece that I had done, and for the life of me, I could not remember the guy's name today. I could tell you the shop I got it at, but it was one of those experiences where
He didn't talk to you?
No, man. So you got to remember, I was booking 5 or 6 hour sessions to get this done. It was like 30 hours on this piece that I got done. And all he wanted to do the whole time was conspiracy theory, which I'm cool with. But after a while, dude, your brain just shuts off because you're like, I can't do this anymore, man. Like I can't. There's only so much I can listen to before I'm just like, I got all excited for like the third session I went in there, and he was like, oh man, I brought my laptop in so we could watch some stuff. And I was like, oh sweet, dude, cool, man. We're going to watch some cool conspiracy theory on YouTube. I'm like, son of a bitch, dude. You know what I mean? And like, it is what it is, but
like lizard people conspiracy theory?
Yeah, man, like tinfoil hat shit.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Man, and I'm okay with that. Like I said, I don't have a problem with that. It's just, I can only take like little segments of it, dude. Matter of fact, man, I actually, when I was between bands on the road, and I wound up doing this symposium, at this place. It's right near Philly. they turned it into this venue. It's called the Centrifuge. And
Yeah.
back in the day when they were doing the whole NASA program, trying to get people to go into space and all that, it was huge. Like this centrifuge is the thing that they would put these astronauts in. It spins them in a big circle, and it would be like, how many G's can they hold before they black out or puke or shit themselves or whatever. So I did a symposium there, and I wasn't sure what I was doing. I didn't care. I was like, all right, man, I'm just getting paid. It don't matter, right? And I'm doing sound. And it was the dude with the wild, crazy hair from the alien show on the History Channel, and his whole crew of people. And I had to listen to that for like 2.5 hours. And I was just like for the first hour, I'd have to say that I was like, oh, you know what I mean? And then after a while, I was just like, bro, it's the same. Like, yeah, the aliens built the pyramids and da 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 da. And I'm like,
That's fairly obvious.
come on, bro. Like, but yeah, you're just like, all right. Anyway, man. So we wanted to do a quick little snippet about this.
But before we move on, right? So I have an Owen Jensen piece tattooed on the back of my leg, the tiger and the snake. Right? Have no idea who did it. I remember where I got it done. Kid didn't talk to me at all. Right? And I have no interest in being, and it's cherry.
Right.
Cherry work, but just whereas like
it was just a bad experience.
Not even a bad experience, just like meh versus like, so my buddy Furry Couch, right? Every time I got tattooed by Furry, he's like, come on in, join the gang. He's like, his whole thing was he should have been in front of a carnival tent.
Yeah, he was a barker.
Right, yeah.
I mean, dude, that's the old guys. That's Burt Graham, all those guys. That's what they were.
And he made you feel like you were part of the gang.
Right.
Like, come on in, sit down, blah, 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 blah. Told stories, like dirty jokes, like had everybody in the shop, like, maybe not the people that worked with him, but everybody that was standing there getting tattooed, man. We're all listening to him.
Right.
So yeah, tattooers, be nice. Be nice to your clients. Be memorable. Tell a dirty joke.
So Nikki, our moderator, came through in the clutch.
Not the band.
She came in and said Ancient Aliens was the show. So yeah, man.
So I had this girlfriend one time
at band camp.
Yeah, and she had me watch this video on YouTube that was about the Martians, time travel, the pyramids, the river that runs underneath the pyramids, the power plant, the Lemurians. Like, I mean, and all I could think as I'm watching this cartoon is like somebody really did a lot of some kind of drug and sat down and animated this. I think it was like a 35-minute cartoon about lizard people, pyramids, and the whole nine. And I was like, Jesus, man, this is good stuff.
Yeah, so I'm trying to pull up this picture for Fat Cracker. He said, "Can you please post the palm tattoo?" And
the palm tattoo.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring it up. So
here's mine.
There you go, man. That's Fat Cracker's oh, wrong palm tattoo. Yeah. I don't have that one, dude.
Batting 1,000.
Yeah, you did send it to me, but I have no clue where that's at right now. Send it. We'll bring it up for next week to bring it up again. I did want to share some pictures though of our listener Chris, and I don't know if he's in here or not right now. He actually made a pilgrimage out to Tattoo City, and he got to get some work done by Doug Hardy. And man, I think if I can pull these up, it'll look cool, man. But I'm freaking struggling tonight, dude. What is going on here, man? Yeah, so I'm gonna pull those up.
You know, I lived in San Francisco for a year and didn't go to well, about 10 months, and didn't go to Tattoo City once.
Really?
Yeah, too busy.
Yeah. Well, you were a little.
It's too distracted.
Yeah, I get it. So I'm not sure why my
Tech
laptop is,
baby.
yeah, it's just like struggling tonight, but I think that's what the problem is. I think I have way too much stuff going on here.
Have you seen that video short of Don Hardy showing his station? Have you seen that? Talking about the emotional toll of being a tattooer.
No.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So here's the first shot from outside of Tattoo City. Another shot of
When do I get to see? How long does it take for me to see these pictures? Oh,
there's a delay, so it'll take a minute.
what's
Probably,
that? Like a Harry Potter hat in the window?
I don't know, man.
What is that?
Here's another shot of the outside, and then he actually got some tattoo work done, and I'm trying to find it. This is really annoying me that I can't get this to work right, dude.
Yeah, I mean, imagine how much it's annoying me that I can't see this.
You know, it sucks.
Yeah.
You know, there's always some kind of technical thing that's just, drives you freaking nuts. It's I don't know. Here we go. I'll open that one up.
Nice. Classic.
There you go. See, now you can see it, right?
Yep.
All right. So we're going to share this one. He got this piece done, and Doug Hardy did it. Yeah, I'm about to freaking throw my laptop out the window, dude. I don't know why it's doing this. Anyhow, there's the piece that he got done.
That's a classic. That's a classic Don Hardy design.
Yeah. And then he also was, I mean, he did send in his defense, man, he sent some pretty cool photos.
Maybe we get to him next week.
No, I mean, I'm going to get to him.
All right.
It's just going to take me an extra second. You know what sucks is I actually even tried to do my own pictures today to share with you guys. And if they're the wrong size, the way the program is, you can't actually bring them up. So, but there's Chris hanging out with Doug Hardy, Ed's son. So, he got to go to do the pilgrimage, man. He flew from Phoenix out to San Fran, and got to do it. So I'm gonna, I wanted to make sure I got the pictures out tonight, and it was really cool, man. It was really cool to see some of those.
Speaking of pilgrimages, I was watching The Shining the other day, the original, and I thought I would like to go. I would like to ride my bike up to that hotel.
Okay.
That looks like it would be an incredible ride.
I watched this show. It's called Walk With Me, Tim. It's on YouTube. It's a British guy. He travels all over the place and shows you hotels and stuff like that. He was just there at the Stanley, and the other one where Kubrick actually designed the set after the hotel. So it's not the Stanley, it's another hotel.
Right.
He went to both, and it was pretty cool to see. I've never seen The Shining. So here you go, folks. That's a tattoo of mine right there. I got this was done by Gibby at Conquest.
Look at that leg, baby.
Yeah, man, my little chicken legs. That's one of them. And here is another one. So this one is actually the one that I said the guy that did the conspiracy theory. This is the one he worked on. So it's a big old Alex Gray piece. Mike Clugston did the top part. It's Brand New Tattoo in Ewing, New Jersey. And the gentleman that did the bottom part, the Alex Gray part at the bottom, is I don't remember his name, but his name's Chris, or Chris Stumpf owns it. It's I can't remember the name of his shop now.
The one
Here I am bitching about that earlier, and then
Timeless
Tattoo. Thank you. So there you go. There's one of them, and then another one that I had done. This was actually the first part of my sleeve that I had gotten done. Day of the Dead mask, whatever. I think. What's it? Day Dio
de los Muertes.
There you go. That was done by Bill Keithley. He was based out of Florida. Then he was based out of Jersey. Then he travels. Let's just put it that way. He travels a lot. So that's that. And so this was done by Ick Abrams at Grim Tattoo. Nice. What's that? A Hanya?
Hanya. Yeah. Just for the record, Buck does have a tattoo by me. It's just not finished.
I have 2 by you.
He has actually 2 by me.
3 by you.
3, yes.
So.
But the really nice one isn't finished yet. The sort of nice ones are. They're small.
Here is the back of that arm. Jason from Philly Ink. He's at the Inkwell. Had to think about that one for a second. Thank you, Sarah, for the super chat. Much appreciated.
I want Sarah to come on the show.
I actually reached out to her about coming on, so this way she could talk about her 10 p.m. creations thing that she's got going. So we are going to try to see if we can get her on next week. So there's the nice little flower on the back done by Jason at the Inkwell. I'm trying to show what else I got here. All right, I like this tattoo actually. I get a lot. I have a lot of people ask me about this tattoo because it's a Tony Savaro piece. Was not done by Tony Savaro. We did get permission to do the tattoo though. And Tony has since seen it. So as soon as it comes up, I will pull it up. But I get a lot of people ask me about this tattoo. So I think is it this one?
The Oni?
I think it's the right one. Okay, cool. I don't know what it's this one.
It's an Oni.
Is that what it is? Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There you go.
So Onis are sort of like
explain it to me, brother.
So Onis aren't demons because they're in Zen, they're not opposed to some kind of like God. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
But they are the guys that do, they punish, they drag evil souls to hell, they create famines and plagues. They're like the punishers. But they still serve, like there's a lot of Japanese work of like Zen masters or like Japanese paintings of Zen masters who will have Oni servants, or there's the Horiyoshi piece of Kuan Yin, and she has the Oni kneeling in front of her.
So that's this tattoo right here is on the backside of the Oni. This was also done by Ick Abrams at Grimm,
which is a great looking shop.
Yeah, man. Everybody in there has got amazing talent. It's one of those shops that is well recognized. It has this style that the only way I can describe it to you is when people see it, they automatically know he did it. He's one of those guys that just has I was gonna say here's you can't really see it though. One of the ones you did for me on my elbow, and I'll have to retake that picture. But yeah, man. So there's my stuff, dude. I wanted to
So
share.
who thinks Buck should let me finish his kneecap? We're gonna have a show of hands,
Oh, I'm definitely gonna finish.
like soon.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna finish. I have all intentions on finishing it. I just
Can we show off my work next week?
yeah, absolutely, dude. You know what, man? I was gonna tell you to do it, but it's gonna take a while, and I almost forgot until the end tonight. And it's gonna take a while to take all those pictures, dude, because you got so many. But next week we'll get Justin's on, and you know, I just wanted to share since everybody else was sharing, and Cracker and a couple other people were busting my stones about not showing my work. So there you go. I got to show you some of them anyway. I still got more that I didn't take pictures of today. I actually, you know, uh, I have two on the backs of my calves. One of them is I love it, and the other one is
I'm dying to cover it.
the nightmare story that I've all told you about with the apprentice
to,
that did it, and I'll never let an apprentice do a tattoo on me ever again.
Cover it so bad.
Sarah, again, thank you for the super chat, much appreciated. Tom said the the conspiracy guy probably thought you were one of his kind with that cool tattoo or tool tattoo. Maybe. I don't know. He was a strange cat, man. He great work, but yeah. They were the 30 of the longest hours I've ever sat in a tattoo chair.
Nice.
And you know, man, like when you're on that 4th hour and everything's starting to feel like a little like raw hamburger.
Dude, I'll tell you what, nope.
What's the longest tattoo session you ever had?
9.
9 hours? Yeah. Mine was 6, man, and I don't know.
9 hours on
I think when Bill did this, I was there for I was going to say 8 hours. He was trying to hurry up and get this done cuz this actually could have won the Hell City out in Phoenix.
Nice.
But you know what happened was if I would have started on time, we would have made it. I didn't have any cash on me because I never carry cash. So if you're ever thinking about robbing me, you're beat because I don't carry cash. So I was like, oh man, let me pull money out of the ATM. And you couldn't pull out more than $200 out of this ATM. And I needed 6.
Mm-hmm.
So then I had to leave. And then there was this whole like bullshit thing about like if you left, you couldn't come back in and da-da-da-da. I'm like, so I had to get like Bill to come out to the dude out of the front and be like, hey man, I'm gonna tattoo him. He's gotta leave, he's gotta get money, blah blah blah. It turned into this whole ordeal, which took way too long, and we didn't finish in time for color that day.
So I had tattooed on myself a naked angel pinup, a Dear John letter, the hand with the envelope that says John, symbolizing what the World War II soldiers would get from their girlfriends, and a cross with a top hat and a cane tap dancing. A design of my own creation. And I was in New York, and I gotten into a little money, and Sean Vasquez tattooed pretty much the inside of my elbow down to my wrist, wind tunnels around a crucifix that I have.
Nice.
He just purple and black wind tunnels.
So we'll get Justin's stuff on next week, man. We'll have to do a quick photo shoot before we start and get it ready, man. I don't know. I got to figure out why.
Trigger warning on my stuff.
Yeah. You know, you live and learn, dude. Fat Cracker said 11 hours for his, next day 9 hours, day after 8 hours, 3 days of pain.
So my buddy Mike, who was older, probably at the time. Yeah, I'm going to say he was in his 50s at the time, was moving to New Mexico, and he wanted to get a Buddhist deity on his back called Fudomayu. So we tattooed him 3 days in a row. I'm going to say about 10 hours a day, to the point where by the end, we were holding him down. And I mean, and he was a martial artist, so he had breathing techniques to deal with pain, and he understood meditation.
And let me tell you, folks, Mike maybe is 130 pounds soaking wet. I mean, the dude is thin.
I think on day number 3, I was coloring over top of his kidneys. Because the piece went from his shoulder to his waist.
Micah Stone said, hell yeah to the tap dancing cross. Sean tattooed me in 1994. That's Fat Cracker, Eastside Inc.
Absolutely.
There you go, man.
So this was when Sean and a bunch of guys were down at some storefront on Jesus, I want to say Broadway. Around Broadway and Houston. It was just some random storefront with a bunch of booths in there, and there must have been 6, 8, 10 tattooers. It might have, I don't know, it might have still been illegal. It might have still been illegal. I don't remember.
So it was pre-98?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Or if not illegal, just legal.
Right. I I don't know where I'm getting tattooed next or whatever. I hit up Eric Perfect about getting some work done by him.
I think you should get a traditional leg sleeve done by me. Since we're buddies.
Yeah, but then that makes me run out of room for the other stuff that I want to do.
You've got plenty of room.
Nah, dude, I'll never get anything in this area because nobody will ever see it, dude, because nobody wants to see this unpackaged. So it's pointless, dude.
Listen. And I know some of our people will back me up on this. Being heavily tattooed is the fat man's cheat code.
I don't know about that, dude.
Absolutely.
I do.
Absolutely. The number of heavily tattooed, bearded fat guys.
So Fat Cracker said 2nd Street with Andrea pre-1997. So there you go. Anyway, man, I hope you all had enjoyed the show tonight.
Wait.
Okay.
So, not too many new things happened to me in the tattoo shop, but a new thing happened today. So my friend Cruz came in, and she brought her girlfriend Ashley in, and they were going to get sharks done, like emoji sharks. Okay, they're getting emoji sharks, and Cruz takes me aside and says, when she's getting her shark done, I'm going to give her a ring. I'm going to give her a ring, right? So it was Cruz, Ashley, and I think one of Cruz's cousins. And sure enough, during the tattoo, Cruz pulls out the ring, and they all start. I mean, Cruz doesn't start crying because she's pretty tough, but I mean, I'm not saying I was crying. I'm just saying that it was a pretty touching. It was a pretty touching moment, dude. I've never had anybody propose while being while I'm tattooing them, or while I'm tattooing the person they're proposing to. Man, I was like, it was moving, dude. It was moving.
In reference to your fat guy cheat code, Tom said, "More skin, more space."
That's absolutely. And the other thing that I wanted to say before we sign off is that we've picked a date. Me and Jesse Ironsides from Bold Magnolia Tattoo picked a date for the 7 Sparrow project. We decided it would be better if we moved it to the other side of Christmas, so it's going to be January 5th.
Okay.
Which sort of coincides with the 11th anniversary of the shop.
Oh, right on.
So, yeah.
All right.
More information forthcoming.
Keep your eye open for the Dana Brunson interview. We'll be out probably Tuesday, somewhere around, I don't know, after lunchtime, Eastern Standard Time. Keep an eye out for that. I hope you all have a safe, happy week.
Absolutely.
And we will catch you all on the flip side.